A while back I went to my friendly neighborhood pick and pull and pulled a couple of magnets, not magnets, but I pulled a couple of speakers out of a vehicle, and my intent was to get a couple of magnets to make this right here, and we'll talk about that later on, hopefully in another video. But what I got that I didn't realize that I was going to get was like two giant magnets like this one right here. When I bought the speakers, I figured a magnet per speaker. Each speaker had 3 magnets in it. So what I'm going to do with this one right here is I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut it in half again. I'm going to make magnetic clamps out of this one right here. This area right here has got glue on it. There's also glue around the outside edge. I'm going to clean that off, and I'll show you what's involved in that, but I'm not going to show you the whole me scraping this. That'd be too boring for you, but I'll just show you a little quick spot of it. This what I'm doing, I'm just taking a scraper for scraping North Carolina State inspection stickers and getting up underneath the edge and scraping it off. You see I got started over here. So once I get all the glue off of it, I can cut it and then I can paint it. When I get it scraped off, I'll show it to you again. There we go. There we are. That feels much better. Even the stain is still there, but I can feel the flatness of it on the razor blade. Okay, let's go ahead and mark it for cutting. The magnets are actually about 4 inches across. I'm just using a little wooden ruler and a magic marker. I'm going to draw up and make me some lines on this bad boy. And I believe what I'll do is I'll buzz it with a good. I'll hit it with a die grinder. Just clean it off. Just cut them in half and then cut the other half in half. See what I come up with. I've got the magnet clamped to a wooden table. I'm going to just hit it with my die grinder and a cutoff wheel, see if that'll cut it off for me. Holy cow. That was unexpected. I never tried to cut one of these one time before, but I guess all I got to do is just put a mark on it where it's going to crack at, and it just broke right off almost flush. Let me go ahead and scar the other two sides and we'll look at it then. Two things that I've found out in my little project here is that number one, magnets are extremely hard, and number two, they're extremely brittle. So what I'm gonna do with this magnet here, I've already done it with one of them, the other half, is I'm gonna do what I'm gonna call it scarring and chisel. I've got some marks right here. Feel a magnet pull that chisel in there. Right here, down the back side, down the inside, and up underneath. And what I'm going to do is hit it with my die grinder and scar it, and then I'm going to set it back here on this little flat piece, and I'm going to touch it with my chisel. The other one, I hit it like once or twice and it just popped apart. We'll see how this one does. Let's see what she looks like after popping it loose. I'm going to pull it up to the camera here and see if you can look at it. It didn't break it clean flush, but it's pretty close. Whoops, there we go. This is the one right here we just broke off. Let's see if I can refocus this. Refocus, there you go. That's one we broke off right there, and it looks pretty good. So that's what I ended up doing with it, to be able to get them to break anywhere close to being clean. Next step is good to take my little my little grinder and just clean these edges off, smooth them out a little bit, and then we'll paint it. I've got one piece of that mounted in the vise right now. I'm just gonna take my little angle grinder with a disc on it and just clean the edge off on this. I'm just making them where they're not so sharp. Once I get it cleaned down a little bit, I can go ahead and paint them. Let's see if we refocus on this. There we go. I'm going to get that bad boy to focus up under better than that. There. And that's what I'm targeting, is just knock the sharp edges off. Once I get it down like that, where it doesn't have sharp edges on it like this one, this side does over here. All these across the outside edge here. And once I just smooth them out like that, I'll go ahead and now paint them. And once I get them painted them up, I'll let you look at them, see what they look like. Here's the finished product. They range in anywhere from size from, I think this one's like 2 1/4 inches to this larger one over here. Ended up being like 2 3/4 inches at its widest point. They're very strong. I went ahead and painted them up. I painted them everywhere with the exception of the surface that was going to be setting on the metal that I was going to be welding on. There's such a flat, smooth surface on the magnets anyway. I wanted to take advantage of that. I've got 2 of them set up here for a little light demo. And what it is 2 pieces of metal, different size. What I've done, I've just set a piece of brass in between to separate the 2, just for the demo, if this was going to be the gap that I desired for a spot weld. And the whole reason for the magnets is the fact that on my Fairlane, when I'm working on it, I run across a lot of situations where the gauge or the whatever it is I'm going to weld to is not 2 pieces of metal that's the same thickness. The magnet pulls both the metals up to the base of the magnet, and it's a super flat, smooth surface, and sets them where I can go ahead and do my 2 spot welds. Saw something like this on YouTube. I had the magnets on hand. I picked them up at a salvage yard. I'd actually got them to do something else, and I had these left over. I think it's going to work out really well. I think the magnets turned out good. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.